Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Justin Romine, aka J-Ro Films. I am a filmmaker based here in Dallas, Texas, and today we are filming a wedding, and I want to walk you through kind of my process and what I do throughout the wedding day, because there's a lot that goes into filming a wedding. And actually, caveat to this. This is going to be part one of a two-part series. Part one is going to focus on all the little moments before the ceremony, while part two is going to focus on the ceremony through the grand exit. Hopefully this will help some of y'all that are either looking to get into filming weddings, or if you're currently filming weddings, this will help you think about other things that you might not be thinking about. So I'm sure you're wondering what the little clear plastic thing is coming out of our shirt. That is actually an IFB system for a walkie-talkie we have in our pockets. I highly recommend investing in some walkie-talkies, especially if you're going to have more than one shooter, which I highly recommend having two shooters at a wedding. And getting your cell phone out and calling somebody doesn't always, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So highly recommend walkie-talkies. Just push the button, talk to them right on the thing, and you're good to go. Did you get it macro or what?
No, I got a wide shot.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's a little, just not the prettiest.
You're having too many different color temperatures.
Okay, let me change.
Yeah, sometimes as a wedding filmmaker, what you have to do is play janitor, and you have to tidy up the shot to make it look the best that it can possibly look. Like, things don't just happen, you have to go out and make them happen. Like all this other clutter that's laying around here, that just wouldn't look super great in the overall video of the bridesmaids' dresses. And we're trying to get a wide shot right here. It's a little kind of like all over the place already, but yeah, we can fix that. So this whole situation right here where we're trying to find a good spot for the dress, this one was a little bit tricky because the girls were getting ready at their uncle's house, and the uncle's house honestly didn't have a whole lot of good spots to hang a wedding dress. Typically I do hang the wedding dress alone without the bridesmaid's dress at the venue and get shots of it there, because the venues typically have really good spots to get this, but the uncle's house, not so much. I heard this recently. What's the difference between a videographer and a cinematographer? A videographer just captures the world as it is. A cinematographer creates a world. A videographer would come in here and just be like, oh, that's where everything is? Okay, let me film that.
I like that.
Whereas now, what we're doing goes the extra mile, creates more of a cinema movie-like feel. And for this part, I basically mean you need to learn how to use the natural available light, because weddings are so run and gun that you don't have a lot of time to set up lights and make the shot look as perfect as it possibly can. So learning how to use natural light and using it to your advantage is the way to go.
Yeah, like two girls there just talking and laughing outside on the patio. I would love to get that shot.
So could we do? So one thing that you can't really teach in wedding films, but it's to think of creative shots. Like Kostas right now is going out there and he's staging a couple bridesmaids out there to just have fun and laugh a little bit. He's gonna get the shot out there. I'm gonna stay in here and capture it from inside the house through the windows with the curtains and the plants kind of in the foreground. So it's thinking of creative outside the box shots. In this type of scenario, it's best to capture as many different frame rates and angles of the same basic shot so that you have the most options to work with and cut between in post. So that's why you see me and Kostas here getting two different angles of the same shot. He's actually filming at some 60 frames per second and I'm doing 24. So right now, this wedding is a little bit different because my wife is in the wedding party. So it's partly why we're able to film this behind the scenes. So thank you, Kelsey, for allowing us to do this. A big part of wedding day is always getting the little details, right? Detail shots, because you can never have enough details to be able to use as B-roll throughout the wedding film, right? So right now I'm getting the details of wedding rings and the vow books that they have to get some nice still shots of those, slow motion. Usually the photographer has everything kind of like set up, but in this case the photographer's not getting here till 3, and I don't want to wait that long, so we're just getting a shot right now. I like using a tripod for these types of shots because it'll give me a good base, and you can just do a little tilt down, get some motion to it. Makes the shot a lot more interesting. So for grabbing detail shots like this, you can use autofocus or you can use manual focus. Manual focus is cool because you can set your focus point and then pull away from it and then pull back into the shot. And so your subject is going to be coming into focus as you are moving into it. Whereas if you have a good camera with good autofocus, you can just trust that it's going to stay in focus the whole time, and you can do these little detailed push-in shots. So right now we're about to get Kelsey reading the note. Story is a big part of what makes the wedding day cool, like a wedding day film, cool to relive, is the story elements that go into it, the speeches, note reading, and all those little in-between moments of like first prayer, first touch, even if they do a first look. So they wrote notes to each other, so we're about to capture that.
Often talked about reality TV over Mambo taxis. You watched me as though you were looking into.
So let's talk audio for a quick second. You can see here we are shooting on the Canon C70 that actually has the ability to supply phantom power. So that is why we are not using an external mic. I told Costas to get as close as possible to the sound source with this Sennheiser MKH416. Typically, if we don't have the C70 or a camera that supplies that phantom power, we put an external mic just out of frame on a mic stand, and that way we can get really crispy audio of the bride and the groom reading their note. I want to get you kind of like looking up from the note. So starting like looking down and then looking up and then just like smiling, like kind of at yourself as you think of Jeff, like looking at yourself in the mirror and realizing, wow, like today is the day. All right, ready and action. What makes you happy in life? Does Kelsey make you happy? Well, there you go. Perfect. I'm on the wider shot. Costas a little bit tighter because you're the, oh, see that? That's a good looking profile shot. Read it like you're reading it to Kelsey for the first time, right? So take your time kind of reading it. You don't have to be like, you know, nervous reading. This is like, we can take 5-10 minutes to do this. It's okay. Coaching your bride and groom and really the entire wedding party, I can't even talk about how critical that is. They don't know what they're doing. Maybe they've been in weddings before, but some of them, it may be their first time. So you really have to be able to know how to coach them and direct them, because not only are you the wedding filmmaker, but you're the director for this video production shoot. So it does take experience learning how to coach, but hopefully watching this video and seeing some of the coaching techniques I use for the bride and groom, it'll give you some ideas. At the end of the day, over communicating and over telling them what you want them to do is the best thing. You can't really necessarily overdo it, but you can easily underdo it, and the shots just aren't going to come out as good. So learn how to coach. Just at your own pace. Pretend we're not here. Mm-hmm.
Kelsey, here we are on our wedding day. Our life together will be. I cannot wait for Saturday morning breakfast with our family.
That's good right there. And just give him a little pep talk. Do you know how to tie a tie?
I don't know. I'm really nervous right now. You know, I feel like everyone's looking at me.
It's almost like it's your wedding day.
Yeah, right?
Ready and action. Don't look at me, look at each other. We're laughing. All right, and then on the count of 3, smile. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so just to wrap things up today, we are about to film the ceremony. This is where crunch time kind of happens. We got 30 minutes till ceremony. We're gonna get set up, get the cameras all in the place where we need them to be to make sure that we're getting the groom reaction, getting the bride coming down the aisle. I hope y'all found this video helpful, and yeah, let's get the ceremony going. Let's get Kelsey and Jeff married.
is lost and love is found.
Jeff, when I think about writing this letter, I find it hard to encompass all that I am feeling and how excited I am to become your wife and life partner. Today is the day. Our countdown has ended and our life as one will soon begin. This is the day we will reminisce about for the rest of our lives as our hair turns gray and wrinkles fill our cheeks.
Kelsey, here we are on our wedding day. You look so beautiful, and I feel like the luckiest man alive. God has made you into such a strong woman, and I'm so thankful He allowed us to find each other. I've never felt so deeply attracted to anybody before. Your looks and personality are so alluring, and when you smile at me, I melt inside every time. I love you. Can't wait to see you.
I missed you today. I missed you a lot.
Yeah, I miss you.
I'm not leaving, darling, I'm not going anywhere. Till you sit with me in the top of a mountain.
Me and Kelsey have known each other for a very long time, and she's been my best friend since 2nd grade. Anyways, we have lots of good times. We also had a lot of hard things happen. So, I miss Jill, and we miss her a lot, and we wish she was here. She would be super, super proud of you. And she would love Jeff. She would just laugh at everything. And yeah, she would think he's really handsome, and she would pull me aside, and she would have been like, so what's up with this guy? Jeff is really cool too. He's super calm. No, but he's like what Kelsey needs, because he's super calm, super like grounded and stable, and Kelsey is just, she can have fun, and Jeff just watches her and adores her.
Lord, I pray that me and Kelsey will be able to be present in this day and just cherish every moment of it. I pray that you would be just present throughout this whole day, and then also through our marriage, and that we would just glorify you and grow closer together with you in our relationship, and that this marriage would just be such a pleasing thing in your eyes. Amen, Lord.
Fast forward thinking, would you rewind and let us in? I'll be ready where the pieces fall tonight, if they fall again. Look around here, slow down. We miss a page if we run about. I'll be ready where the pieces fall tonight. They fall again, it's enough.
You've come before us to desire and express your desire to be husband and wife, and you've shown your love and affection by joining hands, and you've made a lot of promises of faith and devotion. You've sealed those promises by giving of rings, so I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
I was lucky enough to be able to live with my brother for a year, and this is when I really got to see the love him and Kelsey had. My goal was always to be a bachelor for the rest of my life. But after seeing Kelsey and being around them, my goal is always to be as a great of a man as my brother is, and find a girl as supportive as my sister Kelsey. So cheers to you. Love you both.
Technicolor,
4 o'clock is first touch and prayer. What time is it?
It's 3:40, but we need
Okay, so
shots of her getting her dress on, you need shots with all the bridesmaids.
Okay.
You put that between your legs?
15 minutes.
You get that?
Like a donkey.
I said,
No, but for real.
Did you hear about the constipated accountant?
No.
I love this one.
He couldn't budget, so he had to work it out with pencil and paper.
Whoa.
I know.